Hey, everybody, it's Ian King. We're going to talk about the first release in the Get Buff Specialization Series. That is Awesome Abs. So we've got some people who have been exposed to the content and let's get their feedback. So we'll start with Don. What do you think, Don?
Yeah, so obviously I've done a lot of the exercises, although not at a level that would be so impressive for anyone. But I've had that experience. But going through the stages, especially stage one, two, and three of an actual program and all the detail that you've gone into with the program, I've still learned a lot more that I've never seen in any other document or seminar, and just things like how to deal with suboptimal technique and when to be tough, when not to be tough. Things like progressions on the lower abs, how far you can go, and how you get to that higher level. So yeah, so much detail that really it's sort of motivated me to get into the abs more and realize how important they are.
Yeah, great to hear. Appreciate. Great to hear. As you said, you've been exposed to the content for quite some time. So to be able to grab new information from this document, and I do believe that everything I produce is bring something to light that it's either been a little bit under the shadows or never been released before. That's impressive to hear. Thank you, Don. Okay, who else has got something to share for the awesome abs?
Yeah, so I think for this series moving forward, it's just so interesting to see how all the content is coming together because usually we see bits and pieces over the years at a higher level of coaching to be able to piece the information together. So it may not be exactly new to us, but it's just you got to source it from so many different places. And now you have one book that tells you not only how, what, and also like the why and the purpose of doing what we are doing now. It just comes to like it just closes the circle. So I would just say that this is a book to really deep dive into, and there's going to be a lot of nuggets. So I'm just excited to get going with the programs as well. So that's my feedback.
Appreciate that. You can imagine once we get all the series completed, and we're looking potentially over a dozen books in this series alone, it's going to be a fairly good reference material point. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of value for anyone who values it, as Vic has said, to get the content in one place. Appreciate that. Okay, who else has got something to share?
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal book. It's even though it's a body part book, Awesome Abs, it is there's so much in there for program design, just the get buffed information as a whole. It doesn't focus exclusively on getting a six pack. Like there's different components of training, um, how to choose exercises. So lines of movement, one of your essential concepts, and the programs are great too. So I just started incorporating them into my own program as well, and it's just a lot of fun and a great read.
Yeah, excellent. It's great to hear that coaches with more experience, such as yourself, finding the value in that, both personally and professionally. So it does mean a lot to me. Yeah, appreciate that, Tom. Okay, who else?
Yeah, Ian, it's a fantastic book, or should I say, awesome book. First of all, as a 50-plus-year-old trainee, I can really appreciate the prioritized focus on injury prevention in the book. There's a lot of reasons why people should do abdominals. That's one of them. And the older I get, and the older, well, a trainee gets, the more it is important to focus on that injury prevention part of doing abdominal work. And then secondly, the program, it's fantastic. It is a generic program, and yet there are so many ways, there's endless options to prioritize the program. I mean, you can it's a four stages program. You can do stages of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You can change the sequence of the stages. You can individualize the exercises. Again, it's endless options to change to adopt or adapt the level of difficulty to your own level. So that's awesome. And then at the end, there's questions and answers, and that in itself is also like a source of a really valuable source of information. And for those who are looking to have a six pack, there's even a program for them. So it's it's a book that covers everything that you want to know about abdominals. Great book, awesome book.
Yeah, Appreciate that play on words, Dave. Very powerful. And the first point you made was that, the older we get, and I've been working on this thought for some time. The older we get, the greater the price we pay for our flaws in our training. And that's just a reality, because I speak personally, as well as hopefully less professionally, because hopefully I haven't presented as many flaws in people I've trained, but I've definitely paid some price for some of the things I've done throughout the many, many decades of training. And I look around at my cohort who have also got a similar commitment to training for a similar number of decades. And there's definitely a price to pay, especially if we don't behave ourselves. So the focus on injury prevention, I think, gets more important with age, as you said. Great to hear of the value you also found in that book, and I wanted to throw in all the references I've made to that body part, the abdominals. Obviously, I've clarified what I mean when I talk about abdominals as opposed to inverted core training, and there's quite an extensive discussion on that alone. But the intent is to make it a solid reference point for your abdominal training programs, as well as your understanding and knowledge about how I approach abdominals and why. So as with all Get Buff material, there's a lot of layman's education or explanation about this is why I do it. It's just not something that I threw the cards down the bottom of the stairs and picked them up and said, this is how we're going to do it. It's decades of consideration, reflection, and thought goes into those program designs. So everyone can benefit from the lessons learnt from at least this man's journey and the journey of the thousands I've helped with their athletic and physical training.